Welcome to RSWG, the weekly segment where you, the viewer, get to ask us questions
and we try to answer them.
You're doing it again, man. All right. First question comes from Brandon. He asked for tips on beating 1999 mode in Bioshock Infinite.
All right. Well, the best advice probably comes from Vince, and his advice is just don't. It's not worth doing, apparently. He also recommends to buy a second controller because roughly about 2/3 of the way through the game, you're going to end up throwing your controller against the wall. It's just an inevitable fact of life, and you'll probably have to buy another one. But so have a spec up.
If you're looking for actual tips, some suggested vigors are possession, so you can take control of certain enemies and the turrets, and using things like the carbine and the sniper, which are pretty powerful weapons in the game.
The carbine's actually a really good one, especially once it's fully upgraded. The reload speed on that is like half a second, so you'll never ever have to worry about dying because of reloading.
Definitely get a second controller.
Yes.
Yeah. This question comes from Rob. He asked, do you ever rage quit? And if so, what is your biggest rage quit story?
Probably my worst one was Driver 3. The very last mission, we were in Turkey, and I think it's the last mission anyway. And you're having to run up the street and gun down a bunch of guys, and I'd always get killed halfway up the street. I probably replayed that same mission, I can't remember how many times, but I remember I replayed it over and over again for about 12 hours straight. And by the end of it, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and my dad sent me to bed because I was like 10 years old. And I basically put down the controller, and that night I had bloody nightmares about that game. Like, I was raging about it in my dreams. It was the worst. So I'd rage quit it sort of half in life and then in my dreams. I did it twice.
So I've never been a controlling, breaking kind of person or kicking my console or anything like that. But when I used to rage quit, in Battlefield 2, I used to play a lot. When I was doing really bad, I'm like, all right, I'm going to leave the server, but what I'm going to do first is get a jet and bail it into my team, and then just quit the server straight after that. Next up, Austin asks, are there any games that you would like to see a remastered version for the next-gen consoles?
Absolutely, I would. I've actually got a few. First of all, being Max Payne 1, like to see that redone. Not the cutscenes themselves. Leave the comics exactly as they, just copy and paste that, and then redo the graphics, because I think that one could do with a bit more of a touch-up. Even compared to Max Payne 2, it wasn't that great. The other one being probably the original Quake games, and put the music back in from 9 Inch Nails, because I'm playing one of the remastered versions right now, and it's just awful. It's quiet and it's like really bad.
No 9 Inch Nails.
No 9 Inch Nails. Makes me sad. My
ones are a bit weird, actually. I wouldn't mind to see another actual Spyro game, not this like Skylanders thing where you put your toys on it. Like the first Spyro game, I'd love to see that remastered, and also Crash Bandicoot. The next question comes from Kayla. She asks, what is your favorite game of all time? Now, this gets asked to every gamer, I guess, so What's yours?
Super easy question. Wolfenstein 3D. I mean, first of all, it was the first-person shooter that started it all, and secondly, who doesn't love killing Nazis?
All right, I'm about to shock everyone in the world right now. My favorite game? Kirby Superstar Ultra. Kirby game. Kirby games are the quintessential co-op game ever. Oh my God.
I'll be honest with you, I've never actually played a Kirby game.
Oh, you really should. So I'm here with the creators of Infinite Crisis, a DC MOBA, multiplayer online battle. We see a lot of comic book characters in games like stealth and action adventure and stuff. What was the decision to actually make a MOBA style game?
Well, first of all, MOBAs are all about characters, right? DC's all about characters, and if you're looking for diversity of characters, you can't find a better one, especially the way we're looking at the DC franchise with the multiverse. And the fact that we've got Batman, but we've got steampunk Batman, or we have Nightmare Batman, who's a vampire. It just seemed like a perfect fit, and the more we kind of got into it, the more it seemed absolutely right. The MOBA genre is something that we're all really excited about. We play all kinds of different MOBAs, and just felt like the next logical step, certainly for Turbine, we've been working on online games forever, and just kind of feels like that's where the online competitive players are right now. So let's go there and give them something unique and cool to play.
So as far as the model you're choosing, is it free to play? Is it a pay first or?
It's a free to play game. We haven't talked about all the details, but it's definitely a free to play game. I think a lot of the mechanics of how you play the game, how you get characters, stuff like that will be familiar to players when it comes out.
Will any of you be able to tell us what kind of stuff you can buy? Can you buy cosmetics? Can you buy things that might give you a little bit of edge?
No, that's all right. Actually, right now we're actually experimenting with a lot of different things you can buy. We don't ever want to go to a pay-to-win style model, though. Yeah. So it's one of those things where we're trying to support many different ways where you'd actually spend money in order to actually shore up any other ways that you want to play.
So currently there's a very big scene of esports around MOBAs, and I know a lot of people at our work are very big into MOBAs, me including. Do you have any tools to kind of encourage people to play this competitively, or even just spectate their friends' games or something like that?
Yeah, so we were just starting the process. We're actually, we announced a deal with MLG. We're working with some other teams. Hopefully, globally, we'll be doing competitive pro sports really as early as possible. It's pretty early for us actually to be engaging with that, partially because we want to work cooperatively with all the pro teams and the pro leagues to build the tools that are necessary. In fact, today, they're already using a pretty sophisticated match view client to be able to show on the screen what's going on during the game. You can check it out afterwards.
Yeah, so you're live streaming the games of all the people there. Everyone's going to get embarrassed on the internet?
I'm sure we've both already been embarrassed on the internet. So,
can you tell us or what's unique about your game, in terms of differentiating yourself from other MOBAs?
So really, we try to make sure that we double down on our whole destructive event system and as well our catastrophic event system. So when you're actually moving around through our map and playing a superhero, you're actually affecting the world in a way that you really don't do in most other mobile games. And I think that combined with the fact that, hey, you're playing Batman, in addition to every once in a while a random meteor hits that smashes the city up even further, I think that just makes the battlefield evolve in a way that you just don't see anywhere else.
If you don't get hooked by, hey, I'm Batman, I don't know what.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Can you tell us when it will be out?
Yeah, so it's in closed beta right now. Anyone who wants to can go register for beta. Lots of people have at www.infinitecrisis.com. And we're inviting more and more people. So we're in closed beta now. It's growing every day. We hope to get into open beta, sometime later this year towards early fall. And then from there, what's launched, right?
Yeah.
Basically, from our standpoint, we're already launched. We've got people in there playing, so we just want to grow it and get, lots and lots of people playing.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.